Many of us may consider heading over to one of the many glamorous casinos, whether they're in Monaco or in the middle of the Mojave Desert. One thing is certain, those fancy buildings weren't built on winners, but you can still try. From pool parties bringing in tons of dough, to tips to help you take down the casinos, here are 12 secrets the casinos don't want you to know. Hey guys, this is your host, American Eye. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy that video. Number 12. 6 to 5 Blackjack. For decades, Las Vegas has been one of the more sought-after places to go on vacation due to the great odds they provide for customers. However, in recent years, they decided to reduce the odds on a natural blackjack at many casinos across southern Nevada. According to Stations Casinos, they've kept on doing it because people are still playing and the average tourist doesn't even notice. They also stated that if people on the strip stopped playing because of it, they'd switch it back in an instant. Blackjack revenue from the casinos has gone down in recent times, and maybe they should go back to the way things were. Stations considers themselves to be local casinos with better odds than the strip, but will still lower odds to 6 to 5 in various scenarios when people will still play anyways. The house edge of blackjack with 3 to 2 blackjack payouts is only 0.8%. But when it gets lower to 6 to 5, players are going against an awful 1.45 house advantage. Number 11. The gambling business. Each year, many people come to Las Vegas and other cities around the world to try to strike it rich. People throw cash around like it's no big deal, and you can expect to see some serious cash stacked up behind the cage where they pay players. But how lucrative is this industry? Very much so. In fact, extremely profitable. Gambling generates more revenue than the movie industry, theme parks, professional sports, and the recorded movie industry combined. Gambling brings in roughly $34.6 billion each year. You can bet your money safely, the casinos aren't going anywhere. Number 10. The origins of Vegas. Many might not be aware that the modern-day city of Las Vegas would simply not be the same without the intervention of roughly 20 organized crime families. When gambling finally became legalized here, the city was slow to grow until the mafia started taking over. They saw this as a good chance to get rich quick, doing something they already knew how to do: establish successful casinos. Casinos such as the Tropicana, Stardust, Sahara, Dunes, and Caesar's Palace began to spring up, and they were often linked to owners who had experience in racketeering. For example, the infamous mobster Bugsy Siegel opened up the Flamingo. He was a feared hitman in New York City, and many will still claim to see his spirit hanging around at this hotel. Legendary singers such as Frank Sinatra knew the mob and would often perform at their casinos. Strangely enough, the mafia would ally themselves with the Mormons in Las Vegas, who had a prominent role in banking and as lawyers. It would take a good 30 years for the FBI to really catch all the organized crime here, and eventually the mob would have to move elsewhere. Number 9. Mayweather's gambling habits. Floyd Money Mayweather is known to live large and spend a ton of cash in ridiculous ways. He's got a different exotic car for every day of the week, and he indulges in some risky business from time to time. He enjoys sports gambling, and every now and then, you'll see betting tickets from Las Vegas for outrageous amounts of money. It's a little bit ironic considering that he's a professional athlete. Not like he would ever need to or anything, but he could, if he wanted to, bet against himself and also make himself richer by throwing the game. This photo here from his Instagram shows a bet he won, taking the Denver Broncos to cover the spread over the Jets in 2014, where he made a total of $627,000 profit. He's even talked his buddy 50 Cent into betting $1.7 million on him winning a boxing match. Number 8. Parties can make some serious cash. If you come to party with rich, attractive people from all around the world in Las Vegas, Nevada, get ready to pay the price. Big-time casinos make money each time you step in the building, from you buying drinks or for cover charges. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, with some clubs able to generate $1 million in profit each night. Big Saturdays means big money for the servers, hosts, bartenders, and DJs who make it on the stage. The casinos are becoming more and more aware of the possibility of less people wanting to take the risk with their hard-earned money into gambling, so they've created other outlets to attract all kinds of people. Due to the extremely inflated prices on drinks and tickets, the win expects to receive as much as 10 times their original investment with each party. Number 7. Counting cards. You might have seen it happen before in the movies, where people are actually counting cards and making huge bucks while doing it. It's a fairly simple concept which may increase a player's odds and maybe help them predict the future. Films like The Rain Man and Hangover have made many bringing thousands of dollars to Vegas in order to attempt to make it rich. You might be familiar with a film called 21, where MIT students come up with a system that works. You'd know that the casino is probably going to find out if you're up to something. Sure, come into our casinos and try to count cards all you want, but if it starts to work and you start making some serious cash, you might get a little bit of attention from the eyes in the sky. Back in the days when the mafia ran the town, if they caught you counting cards, you better believe they'd teach you a lesson with a baseball bat. The main premise behind counting cards is that there is a limited number of face cards, which are good for the players in the deck. If more low cards are used up already, that means blackjacks are coming and it's time to increase your bet. But should you do it? Number 6. Parlays are awful bets. You might go to a sportsbook and think to yourself that you're going to win a fortune on some massive parlay where you bet all 8 teams to win. Sure, those parlays have big payouts, but casinos aren't giving you close to a fair cut if you really do win. In reality, the house gets 13% on 2-team parlays as opposed to 10% of what you'd normally be giving up just betting one team. Casinos know that people are trying to get rich quick, and the quicker you are able to get rich, the more of a chunk of cash they're trying to take from you. Number 5. Black Sox Scandal. Some people aren't even going to take the chance of possibly losing a sports bet, and they'll rather just decide to rig the game instead. A man named Arnold Rothstein conspired to rig the World Series in 1919 with monetary incentives to 8 different players. Rothstein worked for the mafia and has been described as a thuggish hoodlum that runs business. In any case, he decided he wanted to bet on the Reds in order to make money gambling. Rumors started to get around that the White Sox were flopping around and lost on purpose, and before you know it, Rothstein goes on trial. A total of 8 different players were actually banned from the big leagues. It was considered to be the biggest MLB scandal until doping allegations came out in 2013. Number 4. Roulette has awful odds. In a game where players do have the chance to make it rich pretty quickly in just a spin of a wheel, casinos make sure they still got the edge. Players can win up to 35 times their money if they can predict the correct number. However, in American roulette, there are 38 numbers. Doesn't that seem totally not fair? The house edge on this game is twice as high as blackjack with 6 to 5 blackjacks. It's also very rare to come across European roulette tables where there's only 1 0 on the board. In addition to the house odds being against your favor, you also have to make random decisions which are completely unpredictable no matter how hard you try. If you don't have luck on your side, this can be a very misfortunate game. Number 3. Parking in Las Vegas was free. Las Vegas started off as a watering hole in the middle of the desert, and it was a great place to stop by for travelers ever since the city was founded. With all the money casinos already make through gambling profits and advertising, does it really seem to make sense to make it less enticing to park and come here? Ever since the construction of the T-Mobile Arena, MGM has decided to go from free parking to about $10 every couple of hours. After a while, other casinos followed, but only locals were allowed in for free. Now every casino charges you no matter where you're from, and it's becoming the most popular tourist trap if you can't keep it within your budget. Number 2. What happens here stays here. Many hotel workers are willing to tell you that there's a lot of stuff that happens at big casinos that don't always get put on the news. Many people who are reckless enough to gamble away their life savings may choose to do something reckless to get out of debt, or to end it all. Security is very hush-hush to the media, and bad publicity for the casino could be bad for business. The Stratosphere Casino has been known for jumpers, and other hotels have very secure windows to keep people from accidentally falling out. Balconies are also allowed in select hotels to deter people from making themselves fly off. There are also a lot of pedestrians that don't pay attention while walking up and down the streets with all the flashy lights of Las Vegas. In just 2018, there have been at least 25 pedestrians fatally hit in Las Vegas and the surrounding areas. And number 1. Dealers might be stealers. Although it doesn't happen too often, some people with slick hands might take the job as a blackjack or craps dealer and slip a few chips. Despite them being watched with close surveillance, it still happens and they can get away with it. But more often than not, they do get caught. A 27-year-old employee at a casino in Pennsylvania was caught stealing $200 worth of chips. The punishment required him to be fined $75,000 for the crime. Casinos are sure to set examples to people who think they're foolish enough to steal blatantly from them. It's been witnessed where dealers who got caught will be walked out in the casino in handcuffs.
So what do you guys think of that video? Let us know in the comment section and be sure to subscribe for new videos every day.